Welcome to the Marob show. This is Dr. Marcella Robinson and I am your host. Today's show is with a special artist, my special guest, and his name is Keyvous. Yes. Keyvous is going to be entertaining us with some of his videos. And before we listen to his videos, I'm going to be talking with him. We'll be talking about his life and the things that he's been doing. So Keyvous, my first question to you is, when did you discover that you can sing, or you're a singer?
First of all, thank you for having me, Dr. Marcellus. I appreciate that. I believe I was really interested in entertainment around the age of 8. That's when I started really entertaining the idea of wanting to sing and do things like that. My dad had a doo-wop group called the Valaquans, which was signed to Ray Charles's label. And I was always around music because of that. So around age 8 is when I really started to want to sing. Now, on a professional level, I really started at age 11. My dad died when I was young, so my mom moved me to the San Fernando Valley, which is like the suburbs of LA, for those of y'all who don't know. And she started putting me in talent shows in sports, and I started doing the drama, like Shakespeare festivals, Dixie Canyon Elementary. But playing soccer, I met a kid that him and I had interest in writing songs and singing, and his name is Robin Thicke. So Robin Thicke and myself wrote our first song called Dangerous together around age 11. And from there, I just started, getting the bug. We had a group called Think Twice with a guy named Brian Austin Green, who later on was on Beverly Hills 90210, my cousin Adam Schwartz. And so from there, it's just, I kept doing talent shows, kept performing, kept songwriting, started to learn how to record and really, understand what being an artist and a singer is about.
God bless your mother. She really exposed you to this beautiful talent that you have. Definitely. I saw some of your videos with Robin Thicke, and they were good. Now, who is your role model, or who was back then?
I mean, growing up, I've always been influenced by many different artists. Of course, the main person that I was influenced for the longest was Michael Jackson, because, he was the biggest pop star ever. So of course,
imagine he is the one who inspired you to
sing and dance. Yeah, but along with that, with my dad being a singer and my mom always playing like the Spinners, we had the OJs, so there was a plethora of music. And then I had my oldest sister was into rock. So I was listening to rock and roll. I was listening to all kinds of music, and for a minute I wanted to learn how to play guitar, which my mom bought me a guitar for Christmas one year, and one of my sister's friends broke it, so I didn't end up learning how to play. But just being around music and those types of influences, just really kept me. But Michael Jackson, all the greats.
Have you sung any of his songs? Well, you say you write your own music.
Yeah, I write my own music. And I've sung them in the shower to myself. There's certain people I think you just shouldn't remake their songs. That's just my personal feeling, and he's one of those that you really shouldn't. He's so classic with the stuff that he does that I wouldn't remake any of his stuff.
Oh no, it will be a dishonor to him.
Yeah.
And, Now you're going to be singing. We're going to be entertained with approximately 3 of your videos today.
Yes.
And we have one, I think it's called Got It?
I Get It, or Get It.
Get It?
Yeah, Get It. And
what's that about?
That's basically, that song was the transition of me as a solo artist, because before that song I had been in a lot of groups, which we'll probably talk more about later. But that was the transition period of me as an artist, where I got to link up with my boy Nice and actually have fun on the record. And it's just about getting it in life. I get it. No matter what it is in life, I feel we all have to have an aim to have wants or needs. Like if you want something in life, what's stopping you from getting it? So I get it. This is how I get it, basically. That's what it's about.
That was one of your first songs, or that was in between? Or?
It was one of my first songs in a transition period as me as an artist. What I mean by that is I had, before that, I had multiple groups that I was in, that I was always in groups, and so that was a song where I just really stood on my own as a solo artist. That got a little recognition. Power 106 played it for a little bit. Every time I perform it, people move to it, and I'm blessed for that. So it was just really the first song that I got to start reinventing myself as an artist, as a solo artist. You know what I mean? So that was one of the first ones.
Oh, okay. So in addition to other videos, Get It is one that we're going to see. So let's pause for a little bit and view this video.
Okay.
Get It.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Keyvous. I'm with Marcella, and this is the video, I Get It.
I get it. Are you down with it? Got no limit, all night I'm spending. I get it. Stars out, crew chillin'. Pull up to the scene, roof missing. I get it. Little mama on a mission. Pour another drink, clothes start disappearing. I get it. Little mama, I get it. Say you want that, you can get that. Come join the team, let me show you where the money at. I'm talking Prada girl, I'm talking Fendi shoes. Even grab a couple pair of them Jimmy Choos. Go get your hair done, and your nails too. Gotta stay fly when I'm around you. Get your hair done, and your nails too. Gotta stay fly when I'm around you. It's nights like this that we live for. Everything goes right and we just go. Hard as we wanna, hard as we wanna, hard as we wanna, hard as we wanna. It's nights like this that we live for. Everything goes right and we just go. Hard as we wanna, hard as we wanna, hard as we wanna, hard as we wanna. I get it. Are you down with it? Got no limit, all night I'm spending. I get it. Stars out, crew chillin'. Pull up to the scene, roof missing. I get it. Little mama on a mission. Pour another drink, clothes start disappearing. I get it. Little mama, I get it. You really want that? Oh yeah, you need that. Here with your boy, I'ma show you where the cash at. I got some double shots, I got some bottles too. Got some Ciroc over ice, passion fruit. Go get your dance on, drop it low. Gotta stay sexy anytime I'm around you. Get your dance on, drop it low. Gotta stay sexy anytime I'm around you. It's nights like this that we live for. Everything goes right and we just go. Hard as we wanna, hard as we wanna, hard as we wanna, hard as we wanna. It's nights like this that we live for. Everything goes right and we just go. Hard as we wanna, hard as we wanna, hard as we wanna, hard as we wanna. I get it. Are you down with it? Got no limit, all night I'm spending. I get it. Stars out, crew chillin'. Pull up to the scene, roof missing. I get it. Little mama on a mission. Pour another drink, clothes start disappearing. I get it. Little mama, I get it. I get it. Are you down with it? Got no limit, all night I'm spending. I get it. Stars out, crew chillin'. Pull up to the scene, roof missing. I get it. Little mama on a mission. Pour another drink, clothes start disappearing. I get it. Little mama, I get it.
Take one.
Yes, thank you. That was a beautiful video.
Appreciate it.
And I'm sure that the audience, everyone will enjoy it. You really did a good job. And I know your videos, I've viewed many of your videos, and they've all been wonderful.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You really do. And you said you're coming out with some new ones and so forth.
Yes,
so
definitely.
we can't wait to see them.
Definitely.
But you have a manager. Your manager's name is Michael Hooks.
Yeah.
Michael Hooks and I've been friends for about 20 years or longer. He's your manager. He's really accomplished a lot. He was the manager for Tupac, right?
Well, let me get into that story. He really didn't manage Tupac. What the situation is, him and a dude named Ronnie Hooks wrote a song called The West Coast Pop Lock,
Oh, okay.
which later on Dr. Dre and Tupac sampled to be California Love. So basically, that part of the song that says California knows how to party, he's the one that wrote that line. And then later on, Dr. Dre and Tupac used it for California Love. So that's the.
And now about Biggie Small too, he was involved with him?
He was, I don't know if he was involved in Biggie. I don't know. I mean, Michael Hooks more is a songwriter, producer, and that managed groups, you know, and helped a lot of groups get on. As a matter of fact, it's funny because how I met Michael Hooks is he was looking for an artist to work with for a song idea that he had, and through the engineer that I deal with, Jay Plot, shout out to Jay. Michael ended up talking to Jay, and then they brought me into the studio. And actually, what I was supposed to do was help him just create the song, and he was going to have another artist do it. But when we went into the studio and he saw how I completed the song and my work ethic, he just, you know, I wrote the hook, he wrote the rhymes, and then I just sort of made it all make sense, and then I demoed it. I recorded it so that another artist could do it. But Michael was like, Keyvous, I want to keep you on. I want you to stay on. And so that's sort of how that became. And that's sort of like our tribute song to the West Coast. You know, Rollin' and Pimpin' is really a tribute song to the West Coast. And you know,
that's going to be the next song that you're going to sing, the next video we're going to see. Michael is normally on the shows with his, you know, guys that he manages, but he was unable to be here today because of other responsibilities. Yeah, he's busy. And so I know that he is going to be viewing this show, and he's going to be
of course. I mean,
proud of you.
Our relationship is good. Like, I mean, when it comes to managers, it's good to find somebody that you trust, that you can talk to. And Michael's definitely, I feel, has my best interests at heart and at mind. So that's one reason why I even decided to sign to him for management. And it wasn't necessarily his accomplishments. It's just I got a good energy about him and a good feel about him. So he definitely, you know,
he's a good guy. I've had many of his guys on my shows, and they're usually impressive, just like you are. He picks the best. You know, he knows who because he's seen. I know he's seen other artists and singers that if he doesn't feel good about you, and if he thinks you don't have that talent, he's not going to represent you.
He's not going to represent you.
And I've seen that, I've had people ask me, okay, can you hook me up with Michael Hooks, and can you introduce me to him? And I will say to Michael, well, it's not because I introduce them, you have to take them. If you don't like them, then, it's up to you.
And what happened is, even with Michael Hooks, what spun off after Rollin' and Pimpin', we released my Wild Boy EP under Street People Records, which is his imprint. And so, that spun to actually me releasing an EP with him, which the first video, Get It, is on, and, that song is on that EP. So it really worked out great for us as far as working together and being able to put out music and hit different platforms. Actually, I was on the independent radio charts with Rollin' and Pimpin', so that was a blessing. Michael being able to get it to some DJs in some places in different states to get it to power. So I mean, he's been able to help me out a lot, break through with those types of things.
So this next video that we're going to be seeing is Rolling and Pimping in my 64.
In my 64, yeah.
And he, I think that video you did on Crenshaw Boulevard, is that in there?
I did a couple places. I did it in Whittier, Crenshaw. We were in East LA. I was just, me being a Valley boy, actually I grew up in LA and in the Valley, but we wanted to show just different parts of the city and different life. And in the video, I got to touch bases with some people and just talk to people, put them in the video and just sort of have fun walking around the different neighborhoods in the different cities.
Yeah, because I watched that video and I recognized some of the locations. And and then the cars, those cars, I mean, that was really wonderful. Yeah. So we are going to be entertained with your next video.
Thank you.
Rolling and Pimping.
Yeah, in my
64.
Yeah, shout out to Crenshaw.
Okay. We sit back and relax and we'll enjoy.
Yeah, ride with me real quick, Okay.
What's up, player? We going platinum all around the world, homie. Let's go and get this money.
and I'm pimping in my 6'4". Dragging down the streets in the rat-tat Cadillac. You know how we get down, you see how it go down. Three-wheel motion as we roll around town. Street people records from around the way. Give me that beat, see we got heat. Something you can bang when you riding through the streets. You best show up and you better show off. Turning switches like a 6'4". Chevy when we low. Riding and we bouncing, rolling down slow-mo. Crenshaw, chitty, bang, bang. This is for the one that live that life, man. Cruising down the boulevard, playing that West Coast gangster sound. Props to the people in the streets, left coast, hold it down. Hold it down. Hold it down. Rolling and I'm pimping in my 6'4". Ain't nobody tell you nothing when it's clean though. Love it in the streets when you lean low. Compton, Southgate, Carson, Inglewood. Rolling and I'm pimping in my 6'4". Ain't nobody tell you nothing when it's clean though. Love it in the streets when you lean low. Radio, Roller Heights, Long Beach, Hollywood. Straight up OGs and ladies on the sideline, creeping on Crenshaw. Shake it if you got it, make money if you bout it. Making tricks pay to watch that booty shake to the Roman 6'4" Chevy engine through the frame. Go ahead and work it out, girl, with all that attitude. From the streets of Inglewood to the shores of Long Beach, to the underground sound, you as sexy as you wanna be. Shout out to all my essays in East LA. Down in Whittier with that candy paint. We live the low riding for life. California day and night, West Coast unite. Ghost ride the whip, spoke wheel and dip. Loving every hood and I'm getting it, I'm good. Said ghost ride the whip, spoke wheel and dip. Got love in every hood and I'm getting it, I'm good. Rolling and I'm pimping in my 6'4". Can't nobody tell you nothing when it's clean though. Love it in the streets when you lean low. Compton, Southgate, Carson, Inglewood. Rolling and I'm pimping in my 6'4". Can't nobody tell you nothing when it's clean though. Love it in the streets when you lean low. Radio, Roller Heights, Long Beach, Hollywood. Bounce, ride, roll, break, tilt, spin, cruise, skate. Let me bounce, ride, roll, break, tilt, spin, cruise, let me shake. Just bounce, ride, roll, break, tilt, spin, cruise, skate. Bounce, ride, roll, break, tilt, spin, cruise, shake. Rolling and I'm pimping in my 6'4". Ain't nobody tell you nothing when it's clean though. Love it in the streets when you lean low. Compton, Southgate, Carson, Inglewood. Rolling and I'm pimping in my 6'4". Ain't nobody tell you nothing when it's clean though. Love it in the streets when you lean low. Radio, Roller Heights, Long Beach, Hollywood. Rolling and I'm pimping in my 6'4". Ain't nobody tell you nothing when it's clean though. Love it in the streets when you lean low. Compton, Southgate, Carson, Inglewood. Rolling and I'm pimping in my 6'4". Ain't nobody tell you nothing when it's clean though. Love it in the streets when you lean low.
661. Stand up where y'all at.
Rolling and I'm pimping in my 6'4". Can't nobody tell you nothing when it's clean though. Love it in the streets when you lean low. Compton, Southgate, Carson, Inglewood.
Very good, very good. I'm
Thank you.
sure the audience will really enjoy that.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Those old cars will bring back a lot of memories for
Yeah.
a lot of people, and
It's
even
culture.
though some people are still driving those cars, right? Those,
West Coast culture, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're 64. Is that the year of your car? 1964.
Nah, I don't.
Is it-
I actually don't have a 6'4", but you know, I wouldn't mind one. You know,
You've
but
had one of those.
I've ridden in one. You know.
Oh,
so,
yeah. You know, they kind of they're nice. You know, I like those, you know, rolling and pimping in my 64. That's really good. Now, I know you've done many things,
Yeah.
and I'd like you to talk about some of your accomplishments, the things that you have accomplished, and your future accomplishments. What are they?
Some of the things I've accomplished. Where to start? I mean, I was blessed to be able to meet with my my boy that passed away. His name is Sam Sarpong. I actually met him when I was in junior high, believe it or not, and we used to do talent shows together. And then later on, we became roommates as we were adults. And he passed away a few years ago. But I had a group with him and Casey Kasem's son called The League, which my boy Mike Kasem. Shout out to Mike. He's in Singapore right now doing his thing. But we had a group called The League, and we were able to travel all over Southeast Asia. You know, where we went platinum twice, performed in front of 60,000 people, day in, day night. You know, basically it was a Coors Light tour. So Coors Light had put it on for us, and it just happened to be successful. So that was one of my my great accomplishments, because touring, you realize how marketing and promotion is important to a brand, period.
Right.
Whether it's Coors Light or it's Keyvous, you know, that's one of the most important aspects to getting your material or whatever it is that you're selling out there, is the marketing and promotion. So I was able to see things as an artist and from a business standpoint from that standpoint. So that was fun. Had a great time. We did it for a few years. And then going to China with my Leon Rockmore project, me and my boy Tak. Tak is from a group called Fort Minor, or was from a group called Fort Minor, and Styles of Beyond, which, you know, a lot of people, Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park and Ryu and Tak formed Fort Minor. And so me and Tak and my boy DJ Petrix and my boy Nice did this Leon Rockmore project and toured all over Asia with that. I've toured more Southeast Asia probably than I have here, you know, a little bit of Europe.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, with my boy Sam. And so, you know, I mean, those are things that, coming from where I came from, you know, from the inner city to the valley, and just being able to reach those accomplishments, like, I thought I would never be able to do that. Yeah. So, you know,
went to the Philippines, you said, too?
The Philippines, Singapore, Indonesia, Malaysia, Taiwan, China, I mean, London, you know, and it's just, coming from a single mom, you know, these are things that you always dream about, you know, when you're broke or when you don't have money and you're just like, man, I'm gonna sing, I wanna do this, I wanna do that. So being able to do those things really, you know, meant a lot to me, and even having them, you know.
Your mom must be proud of you. But your people in Asia and those European countries, do they recognize your music now? Like, they must, be familiar with you.
I mean, I would say that's probably where most of my following is at. It is in Asia, and that's why I'm building my U.S. following now with the stuff that I'm doing, because I've done so much overseas that, you know, it's time for me to do a little bit at home now, because I could always go back and tour overseas. Like my boy DJ MOD in the Philippines, I can go there and tour with him. I mean, there's a lot of people that I can touch bases with, and I mean, I come out okay, you know, doing that, but you know, there's nothing like home, you know. I'm on my Dorothy clicking. It's nothing like home, you know. So
you have so many videos on different mediums, and you know, I'm sure many people would want to see a lot of your music. If someone wants to view your videos and so forth, how can they see it? I'm sure there are many different ways.
Yeah, I'm on. Well, first of all, record-wise, I'm on everything: Spotify, Tidal, Apple. This. I'm on all platforms as far as artists on that. But they can go to my Keyvous.com, which is KEYVOUS.com. They can go to my personal site, or just look up Keyvous. They can Google me, honestly, and a lot of things will come up. And they can you know, Instagram, Keyvous. Twitter is League Living, but it's Keyvous. You know, Facebook, it's Keyvous. So they can go to any of those platforms and find me.
Someone might be curious to find out, how did you come up with that name, Keyvous?
It's funny because one of my two of my good friends, like my little brother Shamori, who's in Thailand right now. We were in the studio one night with my boy JC, and we were recording late night, and you know, everybody calls me Key. And I was like, you know what, I need a definite name. I need a definite name. And we were drinking Crevassier, and we were joking. And they were like, Crevassier. And I was like, wait, Keyvassier. And then they were clowning me. And so Keyvous is short for Keyvassier, but I just use Keyvous, even though it's spelled like Keyvous, like it's French.
You spell it like Keyvous, but it's Keyvous.
It's Keyvous. I didn't want copyright infringement, so I'm smart with it, you know?
I know, yeah. So we I've actually come to the end of your show, but before we actually close the show, there's going to be another song that you're going to sing called Who Do I Call?
Yeah.
And can you tell us a little bit about that video?
I'm going to tell you about that. Before I tell you about that, shout out to my boy Nice, who produces my stuff, my boy J Plot, shout out to Boogie, Gangs, those are all producers that I mess with, Red Drums, I see you, boy, and Michael Hooks, and everybody else. If I missed you, I love you. You already know that, because you can call me. Okay. Now, Who Do I Call is basically, that was the first song I wrote, or actually I recorded. I started writing it before my roommate passed away, my boy Sam Sarpong, but that was the first song I recorded after he passed away. And the significance about that is it's basically when you're lonely and you're down, who do you really call? Who can you count on to be there for you? And that's really what the situation, on that song is about. So
Yeah.
that was one person that I can call. So that's why
Yeah.
it's so heartfelt to me, because that was my brother.
Personally, I call on God. I call on Jesus.
I mean that too.
Yeah, that too.
I mean that's always first, but I'm just talking about in the flesh, in a human
Yeah.
form. So many people go through things,
Yeah.
and even just to have a conversation with, or just to
Yeah.
who has time for you
That's true.
to be there for you in whatever way you need them to be there for you.
That's
so
true.
who do I
Well-
call? Shop on my boy Daniel Gonzalez, E-Glamour. So
Yeah, well, before we listen to that song, that video, who do I call? I'd like to thank you, Keyvous,
thank
for
you
being
so
my
much.
special guest today.
I appreciate
We
it.
really enjoyed your videos. And I'd like to thank my audience for viewing this show. Thank you again for watching, and may God bless you.
Regiment on the beat.
When I'm cold and it's lonely, who do I call? When I'm drunk and I'm horny, who do I call? These girls be all on me, but who do I call? Through real or through phony? Who do I call? Tell me who's